Retire early for $1,065 US per month in San Cristobal, Mexico. I wanted to show you a beautiful town I visited in Mexico in September of 2018. If you are wondering why I look younger, it's because I'm showing you a video we filmed in 2018 when Cheng and I were in San Cristobal. San Cristobal is a great place to retire in Mexico if you like cooler mountain weather in colonial era towns. I will update some living costs first and then replay a walking tour we created a few years ago. You can still find local style apartments in San Cristobal for around 7,000 pesos or $350 US per month. Here's my sample budget for 1 month for one person if I were to retire in San Cristobal today. Apartment, around $350. Utilities, about $100. Groceries, about $400. SIM card, $25. Buses, $20. Taxis, $20. Entertainment, $150. For a total of $1,065 per month. For a second person, it will cost me another $200 to $300 per month, depending on their behavior and needs. Of course, you would need to do an exploratory visit with boots on the ground before you would know your estimated cost of living in San Cristobal. We all have different living styles and needs. We did 4 other videos while we were in San Cristobal that you can also watch if the mood strikes. There's a day tour, Chamula, there's our restaurant tour, there's our Live Cheap in San Cristobal, Mexico tour, and our San Cristobal walking tour. Here are the links to all the data we collected when we were last in San Cristobal. And you can click these links. In order to click these links, you need to click the link in the notes below this YouTube video. It'll take you to a web page where these videos you can watch and these links are all located. Okay, now I will continue my video and audio from San Cristobal in 2018. If you enjoyed this cost of living update and video flashback, be sure to let me know in the comments. Okay, here it goes. San Cristobal, Mexico facts. Before launching into specifics about San Cristobal, here's some interesting background information about San Cristobal, which is located in the state of Chiapas, Mexico. Here's a Google map with my arrow pointing to the location of San Cristobal. I'm here now as I type these words. It's super fun and beautiful. Just come to the webpage, check out the map and all of these facts and everything else I'm talking about in writing with Google Map links. The city was founded in 1528, but underwent a number of name changes until it received the current name San Cristobal in 1829. The indigenous people still call it 𝗄𝗎𝗄, which means the place in the clouds. San Cristobal is at 2,200 meters or 7,200 feet above sea level, and it actually seems to be in the clouds for parts of each day. Unlike many other cities in Mexico, the Spanish built this city from the ground up. They did not destroy any old city that was here before or any temples. San Cristobal is a favored tourist destination because it maintains its colonial charms of red tile roofs, cobblestone streets, flowered wrought iron balconies, and the area's indigenous population and cultural beliefs. The architectural influences of the Old Town colonial area include Baroque to neoclassical and Moorish. Many of the buildings are lavished in bright colors to attract tourists and accentuate their facades. San Cristobal was designated as a Pueblo Mágico in 2003. This is a designation given to the most charming cities in Mexico based on food, culture, arts, and architecture. The culture of Cristobal is defined by the indigenous population, including colorful textiles, amber and filigree jewelry designs, local foods, colorful markets, and ceramics. Chiapas has long had a politically active indigenous population. In 1974, Bishop Ruiz formed a Congress of Chiapas with indigenous representatives from 327 communities from Chiapas. The purpose was to unite indigenous people into one voice. Despite these early successes with political activism, economic and social marginalization of indigenous groups has continued. Eventually, when Mexico signed a treaty with the United States that comprised the indigenous, that compromised the indigenous groups, the Zapatista ability to control their own land that they had been promised earlier by Mexico, the indigenous fighters took over San Cristobal in 1974. A peace accord was quickly reached, but tensions still flare in the region from time to time when the indigenous leaders feel the national government is not living up to the peace accords they made with the Chiapas indigenous groups. Since the Zapatista uprising in 1994, San Cristobal has become a lightning rod for those around the world interested in following indigenous treatment, along with those interested in learning about indigenous communal living cultures. The tourist sector includes shops that sell Zapatista or EZLN shirts and souvenirs. And so the international eye is on the Chiapas and how the Mexican government treats these indigenous groups. If you book my recommended flights, tours, or accommodations, you'll pay nothing extra, but we'll earn a small commission, which will help us make these travel guides. So please use the links at the webpage. San Cristobal free Old Town walking tour and map. At the webpage, there's a YouTube video of our San Cristobal, Mexico free Old Town walking tour. I take you through each of the 8 destinations I feel are most important for you to see while you're here, and the map itself walks you through the neighborhoods that I think are most important for you to see and explore. And so if you come to the web page, you can watch that video, and if it looks interesting, you can click the interactive Google map and start your walk. If you're an adventurous sort, you should try one of my self-guided or cheap bastard tours. From San Cristobal, I'm provided a Chamula, Mexico $2 US dollar tour from San Cristobal to Chamula. There's also a video of the tour. If the video of us going to Chamula for $2 per person looks fun, then grab a colectivo to Chamula at a corner near a market, link provided. It's $1 each way. The colectivo is a white minivan with the words Centro Chamula on the front. So watch the video. If it looks fun, grab the colectivo and enjoy your $2 tour. Okay, next up, San Cristobal, best restaurants, street food, and surprise experiences. On the webpage, I've provided 5 of our favorite restaurant experiences here in San Cristobal, and also links to where to go shopping if you like to cook like we do, and also where to get juices. I was on a juice fast while we were here in San Cristobal, and so Chung Hoi was eating and I was juicing, and there's a couple of great juice places I can recommend for you, along with the 2 markets. So there's restaurants, juicing, and also markets on the webpage. And there's a video of our the food and life here in San Cristobal. You can watch the video. It looks interesting. then you'll know which of the restaurants to visit, and you'll be able to visit them because there's Google links on the web page below the video, and you find all that by clicking the link below this YouTube video. Okay, next up, best San Cristobal nightlife, bar hopping, or walking tour. It's important that San Cristobal feels safe at night, and so we wanted to go on a walking tour so you have an idea. There's just beautiful, well-lit walking streets here in San Cristobal. There's probably 50 different bars and restaurants along these walking streets, and you should feel safe to go in any of them and have a good time. So come to the webpage, watch the video. If it looks good, you want to go on that evening walking tour, then below the video there's a map. Just click it. There's an interactive map that will open up from Google on your smartphone, and you can start walking. San Cristobal best and cheap hotels. You should stay in the Old Town area of San Cristobal. You can walk to most of the interesting things to do and see. You won't need to get in a taxi. And here are accommodations that you should consider. They go from most to least expensive. Just come visit the webpage, click on these, the ones that I've reviewed, and pick one out. We stayed in an Airbnb. There's also on the webpage under the food and lifestyle video there, you can see a video of the Airbnb place we stayed in. It's had our own bathroom and bedroom. We shared the kitchen, and it was only $13 per night, which is crazy cheap if you think about it for such a beautiful place. I started living internationally over 11 years ago. If you'd like to learn how to make money online or how to live internationally, possibly with less money than you spend at home, please grab a copy of my free ebook. It's on the webpage. San Cristobal flights, buses, and trains. We took an ADO bus, ADO bus from Oaxaca to San Cristobal. You can go to the webpage, link provided, right-click in your Chrome browser to get an English translation, and then pick out your bus from wherever you're coming. The trip was 11 hours. It costs 457 pesos from Oaxaca to San Cristobal, which is about $23. Buy your auto tickets at least 1 week in advance to avoid their last-minute price gouging. As the seats fill up, they raise the price as much as 200 pesos per ticket, which is up to $10 per ticket. Normally we recommend other bus companies, ETN or Primera, but between various cities in Mexico. But as we have headed further south in Mexico, it seems that Auto has a monopoly on travel. You'll need to check their webpage to see if they have a bus from your city to San Cristobal. You can visit the English ETN website, or just right-click on any web page in your Chrome browser to translate into English. San Cristobal International Airport. There is no actual airport in San Cristobal. The nearest one is TGZ, Aeropuerto Internacional Angel Albino Corzo, which is not far away. It's only an hour. You can fly into TGZ and take a taxi to your accommodations in San Cristobal. It takes about 1.5 hours, costs about 1,000 pesos to take a taxi, or $50. If you're on a budget, you can get an auto bus. It has a bus that goes from the TGZ airport to San Cristobal every few hours for about 80 pesos or $4. These are super nice buses. Uber wasn't operating here during our visit. Let me know if it's up and running when you are here. I provided a list of 5 places to stay in Old Town San Cristobal. See above. Recommend booking before you show up and then taking the bus. You can, if you get the SIM card at the airport, you'll be able to use that to get your accommodations. Once you're in town, a taxi from the bus station to your accommodations should be about $2 or 40 pesos. Okay, San Cristobal, Mexico, livability factors. This is Dan from Vagabond Buddha. Here are the factors I use to decide if I would want to live somewhere. I call them my livability factors. Livability factors, weather, walkability, overall cost of living, things to do, internet reliability, social considerations, food choices, expat opportunities, and real estate prices. Those are the livability factors that I consider. San Cristobal desirability score. I rank each of the livability factors separately before I think about the overall desirability of a place. San Cristobal has a medium desirability factor. Right now, my personal top 6 places to live or retire cheap in paradise with respect to only Mexico include Oaxaca, Puebla, Querétaro, Guanajuato, Puerto Vallarta, and Tulum, but have more places to see in Mexico before firming up my scores. If you'd like to know how my next 3 stops compare to my existing 6 above, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or Vagabond Buddha, or stop by later and see what we're posting. Walkability. San Cristobal is totally walkable, the Old Town area. You do not need to buy a car if you live here. If you would like to learn how to be a digital nomad or make money online or live internationally, possibly with less money than you're spending at home, please get a free copy of my book at Vagabond Buddha. Internet reliability. The Wi-Fi in our Airbnb was 6.6 megabits per second download speed and 1.9 megabits per second upload speed, and that's using the AT&T speed test. That is the wireless connectivity within our Airbnb room. It's totally suitable for most purposes, certainly mine. Creating YouTube videos and web pages, having telephone calls over Skype and WhatsApp, and uploading YouTube videos. Food. This has the most foreign food diversity that I've ever seen in Mexico for a town this size. There are about 200,000 people living in San Cristobal, and most international foods are here also. There are just a bunch of foreigners who have moved here and brought their native palate with them. So it's not challenging to find customers when foreigners open restaurants here. They stay open and prosper, so there's a large selection for you. Weather. We came to San Cristobal from Oaxaca, Mexico. The first things we noticed was that it was cooler here. That is because Oaxaca was at 1,500 meters or 6,000 feet above sea level, and San Cristobal is at 2,200 meters or 7,200 feet above sea level. April is the warmest month with an average high of 74 Fahrenheit or 24 Celsius. And it cools down at night to 46 Fahrenheit or 10 Celsius, and that's the warmest month. January is the coldest month with an average low of 40 Fahrenheit or 4 Celsius at night, of course. But it warms up in the day to 70 Fahrenheit or 20 Celsius, which is nice. The rainy season is May through October, when it rains 4 to 8 inches per month, or 112 to 226 millimeters, with the months of June and September on the higher end of that range. Because of the long rainy season and the cold weather in general compared to other places that we've been to in Mexico, I'm labeling San Cristobal as merely a medium desirability score. That's the main reason that it's getting medium instead of high. So if you like cooler weather, you might find this is your favorite place in Mexico. Things to do. There's live music everywhere in the old town, day and night. We really felt safe walking around. Old Town day and night. And you should watch our Old Town video to see what I mean. It's on, just click the link below this YouTube video to see a video of us walking around at night. If you are into outdoor sports, there are many options for you here, like hiking and exploring the beautiful mountains around the Chiapas. There are also rivers for other outdoor activities. There's an active nightlife here with foreigners from all over the world, permanent and tourists. There's arts and crafts are a big deal here. In the evenings, you will see not only local indigenous people, but also foreign hippie-ish people selling their handmade jewelry, arts, and crafts. This is a hippie's heaven. If you have liberal social beliefs and consider yourself a bit of a hippie, this place will feel like home. Everyone sings, plays instruments, and dresses creatively. It's a very lovely place. Social considerations. You will feel the need to learn Spanish here. You will be isolated otherwise. Once you understand Spanish, you'll integrate nicely into this community. Expat penetration. There are a bunch of expats living in San Cristobal. They are working here and running businesses and living the good life. But they're not the same kind of expats that you will find in places like 𝗂𝐻𝐿, San Miguel, or Guanajuato. They have fully integrated into the culture here, so they don't really need expat support systems. Real estate. You can get a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment or a condo in the Old Town area for about 75,000 USD. I provided a place to click here to search. I do not recommend buying until you have lived here for at least a year or two. That's really only when you'll understand whether or not this is going to be happily ever after for you. It's okay to pick this as a place, but you're going to want to move here before you make that final decision. San Cristobal, Mexico, cost of living. After you've visited at least 4 or 5 of the other places in Mexico I have reviewed, then consider where you want to live. Once it's time to pick a place to rent for a year or so, I recommend renting an Airbnb apartment here or wherever you pick for a few months or weeks. Once you're here, wherever that is in Mexico, then begin your search for a place to rent more long-term, whether it's 3 months or 6 months or a year. If you try to rent over the internet speaking only English, you will be quoted only gringo prices. We head to a new place in the morning in Mexico. Subscribe and you'll find out where and what it costs. Hey, if you liked our video, please like, comment, or subscribe. Any of that would help our business. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our video. Click the link in the notes below this video to get a copy of this content. Plus, grab a free copy of my ebook, How I Fired My Boss and Traveled the World for 13 Years. While you're there, check out our catalog of retired cheap reports all over the world and our hobby income course that we just released. Thanks so much.